Let's bring in Whit right now on FT Live. Whit, how you doing? How you hanging during free agent time period? Does it at least make you feel better that more than half the league of free agents hasn't signed yet?
I mean, it's been slow from across the board. So, yeah, that's part of it, I guess. But yeah, no, everything's good. If I lose you guys, I'll call you back. We've got some biblical rains going on in North Carolina right
Uh-oh.
now. So
Hey, it's coming here.
It's
It's
coming.
supposed to be here about 5 o'clock.
I hadn't seen anything quite like this. It's gnarly.
Is it raining frogs?
We're getting that tonight, man.
Not frogs. No, not yet. It's too cold for that. They'd be all over the place, though, if it was warm.
Wow.
All right. Well, if we lose you, no worries.
We got to look forward to.
Why do you think there's a stalemate in general with free agency this year? I mean, obviously some teams are scaling back payroll because of TV concerns. There are still, a bunch of players at the top of the market repped by Boris that all seem to be kind of on a holding pattern, but I think it'll play out soon. But what was it, about a month ago, everyone was like, oh, Ohtani's holding up the market. He wasn't holding up the market.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm not. I'm not privy to the other side of the conversation as to when teams are just kind of sitting on their thumbs. So I don't know. I don't know what's holding up teams from going out and signing a bunch of guys. But yeah, I wish I had an answer for you.
Now, as you're sitting there, I remember when I went through free agency, I'm like, yo, this is the best. I couldn't wait to get there. And I'm like, damn, I haven't signed with anybody. I thought I'd, get thousands of offers, my first year in free agency, and then nothing really, nothing explosive came. So it's like one of those things where, I mean, you've been playing for a long time now, so you understand the ins and out of baseball, man. Do you hear the rumors? Are you a big rumor guy, or you just let things go, man?
Well, now you can't help hearing the rumors just because even if you're not looking for it, you got other people asking you, oh, so I saw on, like, I guess the latest thing, I got about 4 texts between last night and today saying I saw on ESPN that you're going to the Astros. So it's just like you just can't avoid it at this, as a player with friends, you just can't avoid it, especially friends that don't necessarily understand the game from a business standpoint. That they see something online and they just assume that's what's happening. So, but yeah, I mean, it's at this point with me, it's trying to figure out what's going to be my best situation. Where do I want to be? What's going to be important to me, in my career. And so those are decisions that I'm thinking about and discussing with family and my agent, and just trying to come to the best decision.
All right, so you can break it here. You're signing with the Astros. What's the deal? How much? How many years? And just let us know. We won't tell anybody.
Why Astros?
That's because that's what he said. He just said ESPN
That was his
he's signing
words.
with the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, it's look. I firmly believe that I've still got a few years left in being an everyday high level player. I mean, I was an all-star last year. I know I had a tough 2 months at the end of the year, but I've still got that in me, and I know I do, and it's just a matter of finding the right team that believes I still got that, and when that situation is ready to happen, it'll happen, and you guys will be the first to know.
Oh, nice. We appreciate that, and we're going to hold you to that, Whit, okay? That we are going to be the first to know. Do you have to sell teams on yourself? Like the teams that you've talked to, do you have to sell them? Are you sitting there saying exactly what you said? Because they have everything out in front, and they have, your numbers, they have what other guys have gotten paid, or do you just go in, your agent go in and say, hey, what do you guys want? And then you kind of meander back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, so at the start of the free agency cycle, my agent put together this pamphlet of numbers and things that I do well and things that I've done well, reasons that I'm turning 35 in little over 2 weeks, and reasons that just because I'm 35 doesn't mean my 35 looks like your 35 or his 35, and just things along like that, and like comps. This guy got this amount of money that at this age coming off this season versus me and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we've got a big thing, but with all the numbers that are available now, teams are gonna find those numbers that make you look like a lesser player, so they can try to pay you less. And we're showing numbers that I think better reflect the kind of player that I am. And it's just a kind of a back and forth.
Okay, so are you selling yourself as a everyday second baseman, or as a utility player, or what's your main position you want to be sold at? Because you said you still have everyday years left. So is that at second base? Is that in the outfield, or is that as like a Ben Zobrist super utility kind of guy?
So this gets kind of the way I don't know if I don't articulate this very well or not, but I think this kind of gets skewed. Like I only want to play second base, which isn't necessarily the case. I just feel like when I play second base every single day, I feel like it puts me in the best position to be the best player that I can be. Now, and that might not necessarily be what the team needs, and the team, it might benefit the team for me to play second against right-handers and right field, left field, center field against left-handers. But I know that when I've gotten to play second base every day, I mean, I've got a Fielder Bible Award, and then I've only got to do it 2 years. First year, I pretty much led baseball or at least the American League in defensive metrics at second base. And then I think that was 21. And then in 2017, same thing. I had to play second every day, and my defensive metrics were extremely high. When I bounce around, they're not as well represented, because naturally, when you're not playing every day at one spot, you're not gonna be as sharp as if you're there every day. So that's where like my verbiage comes in. That when I play there second base every day, defensively, it creates a higher value, and so everyone likes to look at WAR. So my WAR is better because I'm have better defensive numbers. The defensive numbers they can be misleading, because defense is about opportunities. And if say I play second base for 200 innings and get like 2 chances to my right that are going to be great plays, and I make one of them, and someone else gets 200 chances and gets 8 plays, they're going to be great plays to his right, and makes 5 of them, he's a better statistically defender and has a bigger range than this guy. So the defense is about opportunities, and that only reflects itself when you're there, like on a consistent basis. And so it's a weird thing for myself, because there is value in what I do and being able to bounce around, and I do understand that, and I know I'm pretty good at it. So I like doing that. I've done it my whole life, but I think if you're going to get the most value out of me, in my opinion, I'm playing second base every day.
Okay, there's a great team. I know we already put you with the Astros, but the White Sox, they need a second baseman. They signed all the ex-Royals, so congratulations, you're now White Sox.
I just saw they just got Jin Wong, my guy over from Kansas City.
Oh, so,
yeah. They got everyone from Kansas City. Every guy they sign has to either
they're missing
be
someone. He's on.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Either got to play for Kansas City, work for Kansas City, or have at least put blue on once in their life. They'll sign you.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I got a lot of great friends over there.
Do the teams that you're talking to agree with what you're saying? Because I kind of asked you before, like, do you have to sell yourself? Do they agree with it? Because I'm always wondering, like, I never went through it. The other 2 dudes besides Scott went through this. Minor league free agency is way different than this. So, but do they agree?
Until it comes to numbers, yeah, they agree. I mean, until it comes to dollar figures.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, well, this is where you were defensively last year, and at left field and right field, and your second base numbers were down from the year before, and so then it's like, oh well, then they can, like, because of my age, everything goes back to regression because of your age. Needless, the the numbers that attribute to my physical wellness, as far as sprint speed, as far as these plyometric jumps that we do every year, that I was the highest last year that I've been in my career. None of that gets taken into consideration if my average exit velocity is down 0.2 points. It's because I'm getting older and I'm regressing. Doesn't matter at all that I'm 3% stronger this year than I was last year. I'm regressing because I'm older. That's kind of how the conversations usually go.
Is it kind of unfair? You're going through free agency the same time that players who have never, and I get it, it's pitchers and incredibly handsome elite defensive second baseman, but is it unfair that you're at the free agency and you're going through and hearing these words when guys are going through free agency getting hundreds of millions of dollars that have never played in the big leagues?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if fair is the right word. It might be the right word, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't like saying that somebody getting an opportunity and getting a bunch of money is not fair. That he got this opportunity and this guy didn't. But it's different. Is that better? Is that a better way to say it?
It's much
Yeah.
better.
I'm totally with you, Whit, on the age portion of things. I do not think everyone's age is equal, right? And it has to do with two things. One, how you maintain your body, which is what you're talking about, but two, genetics. There's also just some people that age differently and more quickly and kind of lose it, right? So if we're going off the same curve, it's just wrong. I mean, this isn't the best example, but it's probably not the worst example. In my last job, they had this option where you could do this like real age ID kind of test, and it could help you to get like some insurance perks. And I did it. And I was like 26 or 7 instead of like 35. And I was like, let's go. So I just feel like they need to look at other things. Well, hey, listen, I mean, I'm in my mid 30s, and I have some friends once they hit 21 or 2 where I felt like I'm in much better shape than they were now. And I'm sure Whit feels the same way. Right? You're 34, and you're probably looking at some dudes that enter the league, and you're like, I could run freaking sprints around these guys in basically every fitness test. So that's not really what I am. It's just a number.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a way for teams to devalue you, and that's at the end of the day what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you at the best bargain that they can get you at, and to me it's just a lazy way to go about judging a player, just by looking at raw numbers and saying because he's getting older, these certain numbers aren't the same as they were this year. When if you really look at it, it's probably there's probably a lot more going on than age. And I think that to think that somebody, just because they're 2 years older, can't be better than they were 2 years prior is pretty ignorant.
So let me relate this to a teammate, okay? So I'll take it off you for a sec, Wait, and I'll take you to former teammate, at least for now, Matt Chapman, unless you guys end up on the same spot, right? So you just played with Matt. He's 30 years old. For example, I think he'd be a great fit with the San Francisco Giants. I know that's a team that's obsessed with age curve stuff, and they're probably looking going, oh, well, we brought in Longo and made that big trade years back, and he was okay for them, right? He had his ups and downs with the team, and they're like, well, this would be signing a guy who's only 1 year off of that. So what do you think of the way someone like that is evaluated as well, as you just played with him for the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, you just look at the way he moves. You look at the way he runs, the way he moves laterally. I mean, the guy is an elite athlete. He's a lot faster than people think he is. He's dynamic. He's quick twitched. He's not only is he quick quick twitched, but he also twitches in other ways. He's got a little Tourette's to him, which we like to give him a hard time for. He says some stuff, and we're like, dude, like just you literally you have Tourette's. Just blame it on that. But anyway, Chappie is just he's a dynamic player who's obsessed with the game, who's obsessed with getting better. And if anybody uses the fact that he's 30 years old against him, I mean, that's just it's lazy analyzation, if that's the right word, of a player, because there's so much more that goes into who he is and how he's going to be as a player than simply his age.
Do you feel like your old contracts, the contracts you've already signed, the extensions, have kind of come into play with some of the negotiation in the sense that, like, oh, we know he took a, quote, team-friendly deal. We can do that too. Do you feel like they are kind of pigeonholing you that way, or is that not something that is in their minds, or feel like that's in their minds?
No, I mean, I don't think that hasn't come up, but I really don't think that was a team that big of a team friendly deal, because I signed it so early in my arbitration process. It was 4 for 16 with some incentives, with an $11 million club option. The 4 through 16 got me through year 3 of ARB. And if you look at the way they pay arbitration players, best case scenario, I would have got like 369. So
right.
That's 18. And then with the incentives, I got to 17 and a half, I think. And then they picked up my club option, which coming off of a bad year, just pretty much got me a 1-year, $11 million deal. So I really think it was a good deal for both sides. And, I like to stick up when people say stuff like that, because I think my agent did a good job, and he kind of catches some slack when people say that. And so I like to try to stick up for him.
I like that. Hey, Whit, right now you've got some people that aren't Dodgers fans that are pissed that they're not Dodgers fans, or they're like, we need a salary cap. Meanwhile, the Dodgers were chilling last offseason. They didn't spend a lot. They were waiting to be able to pounce this offseason. What do you think of what they've done? And when some fans are calling for a salary cap and they're like, oh, the Dodgers are just going to win the World Series. Like, in my mind, you're clearly not paying attention to how baseball and the playoff system works. But from the players' perspective on what they're doing, I mean, also, I think probably the strongest line from a player and from the players union is no on a salary cap. And if anything, we need a floor, because there's some teams that are just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to fault any team that's going out and doing the best they can to make their team a World Series contender. So, I mean, props to them for getting creative and doing things that have been not done at the level that they're doing it, as far as like the deferrals and all that stuff. It takes stuff like that's innovative. And until something like that happens, you don't think about correcting it or adjusting it. So whether that happens in the future, the next CBA, whether or not they like put together some sort of rule that says you can't deferral X amount of dollars, I mean, kudos to them for being innovative and going out and getting guys that they think are going to make their team better and spending money to do it. So, I wish there was 29 other teams that kind of followed that. I know people say that money's different, but it's not that different.
I agree. It's not that different. I know too much. That's why
it's different, but it's not that different.
No, it's not that different. Yeah, we go over it almost every day with some fans. I want to take you in a little bit of a different direction. It's more of like a sports media question for you. So Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers are in the news a lot lately. Not asking you specifically for a breakdown of, Rodgers' comments. I'm sure you've seen some of them and some of the back and forth that he's had, like with Jimmy Kimmel and all that. I'm just looking in baseball for any players in your mind that could be like an Aaron Rodgers type. And do you think, despite the comments, that the attention that he brings to the NFL and keeps them kind of in the sphere of conversation, do you think that's really positive for the game? And I guess you can make a case also for someone like Travis Kelce too, right? Like he's everywhere. He's outspoken. I mean, you want to go NBA, LeBron. Like, do you think that our sport has that? And if so, who are some players that come to mind that you perk up to listen to when you see them in an interview?
I mean, there are some players that come to mind. I don't know if they would, since they're not really like that way in front of the media. I don't know if they would like me to say their names, but I know some people that are, I know players that are interesting individuals. I mean, this guy would never be in the same sort of sphere as Aaron Rodgers and the outspokenness and the firm stances on what he believes in. But I mean, anytime Zach Greinke's around a microphone, I have to listen to what he's saying. So he's he's an unique human being and one of my favorite teammates I've ever played with. But I've met other guys. I mean, I've had teammates that are flat earthers that are just it's just incredible to listen to. Guys that are, have conspiracies about a lot of different things that are just fun, interesting conversations, and then guys that are super, super intelligent and smart and have a belief system that that they have a high value with, and in the locker room, it's a much different conversation than when a camera's in front of them. So. We're taught from a young age to be vanilla, to just kind of not take the distraction off of the common goal every day, and that which is winning and getting to the playoffs and winning a world championship. So, baseball's still a little bit in that atmosphere, I guess, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. But I know in the world of media, and especially in the world of social media, clicks are important, and I've dealt with that firsthand.
Who is a guy that you don't know? You know a lot of guys being a two-time All-Star, three-time All-Star. Is there a guy that you're like, that guy is intriguing? I don't know anything about him. If he was on FT, I would tune in every day at 1:45 to see what he has to say when I'm on the way to the park. Like somebody you don't know. That way you're not throwing him under the bus. Somebody that you do know would be awesome.
Some fans are saying Votto, although I don't know if he's playing again next year. No?
I mean,
Votto's one. Votto's a great one. He's gonna be great, a great TV guy one day. I don't know Votto personally, but I like it when he's got an interview. I like to tune in for that one. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody in particular. So, yeah.
Well, we need to do some work on that then. That's a problem, right?
Yeah,
that's the point, right?
Yeah, we need to find some guys. I thought Sale was pretty standout yesterday.
When
we got him going. So, all right, then that's our job. That's on us. We'll work on that. We got to find like who else is out there that really stands out and can kind of I guess translate over to even other fans of other sports and be like, oh shit.
We got to get someone that's not afraid to say something, which is
he said, you're taught to be vanilla.
You are. I mean,
in
like
baseball.
In NBA, you have like Draymond Green, right?
Oh yeah.
Who'll say anything, then get suspended for repeatedly like punching dudes and choking dudes.
Well, that's different.
No, but then he says whatever he wants, and then he comes out and says the commissioner talked him out of retiring.
Yeah.
Dude, you ain't retiring. You got like $100 million left in your contract.
Exactly.
You ain't retiring. I mean, that's just. I mean, come on. Like, let's be serious here.
He was saying that. I don't know why you would say that.
He was saying it. You know why he was saying it? He was saying it to get more clicks.
Whatever. Then he's smart.
That's what I know, but nobody in baseball do that.
No.
Because, like Whit said, everyone's too vanilla. You're taught from a young age, just be the same, be everyone A to B, and be in line. And don't.
There's also a stigma that comes with a guy that's doing that and that's going out and trying to do things to get clicks, whether he's putting everyday workouts on Instagram and showing you how hard he's working, or doing, saying You're just doing stuff that's kind of like it seems forced and outlandish to generate attention on social media. That comes with a stigma in the locker room, and it comes with not a reputation that most guys want. So there's also got to be that level of authenticity that comes with it if you're doing it, and that's hard to find.
Yep. Some fans saying Pete. They want some Pete Alonso. He stood out for a few comments this year with us. So, all right, we'll work on that. That's our homework. Whit, we'll talk to you soon for the breaking news signing announcement. All right.
All right, I'll have to remember that.
Yes, call us right after you sign, please.
We're your first
All
call.
right.
All right, talk to you soon, dude.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Cheers.